Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to make a video today that's a little bit different, and it's probably not going to go to all of you. A lot of you guys already know a lot of this stuff, but I was looking back at some of my videos and I found that there's still a lot of people that are still looking up some of the previous videos I had done about what ships they should grind, what ships they should avoid or pick up, whatever. So that made me think there might actually be some people out there that kind of need a walkthrough of the whole new service record overhaul that they put in on Monday. Because they really did dramatically change it. And this should have been in the game a long time ago. And I mean like a long time ago. But there's nothing we can do about that. We have it now. So let's walk through it. I'm going to do it on the most basic of terms. And you're going to see me go on and off screen here. Just because I end up blocking some things behind me here. But let's just take a deep dive, and then there'll be some explanations on a couple things down the road, stuff like that. So as soon as you open up the summary page, you almost have like this highlight, and you've got like a combination of stats and your greatest hits, if you will. Over on the left side, that's your stats. Battles played, battles survived, victories, warships destroyed, stuff like that. In the middle, you've got the total number of ships and a total number of commanders, so you can just instantly look at something and be like, oh yeah, I've got 249 ships, when you're comparing with all your friends. And if you look on the right side of the screen, that's kind of your highlight zone. Things like maximum number you've ever killed in a game, or your max XP per battle, and that's going to be some kind of an arena score, 6,400 XP. That's not a standard battle score. Neither is a max damage, that's going to be arena. Back when they had those heals and stuff like that, which you don't really see anymore. And then obviously medals earned. So that's a huge change, and that was literally just overnight. Now, I didn't get to read much onto this. I don't know if this was really in the patch notes in like really good detail or not. Knowing Wargaming, it probably wasn't. But then when we move on to the other side, the statistics, that's, to me, I think this is probably one of the coolest things that they've done as far as the back engine side works to the game, the actual UI side of the game. Because they have changed things up in recent past, like probably the last year. You know, they redid like the whole tech tree thing. Back on the main menu, go look at the ships, like they redid all that. But I think this is probably one of the better upgrades they've made to the game in quite a while. Gonna keep it really simple for all those people out there. Up in the top left, you can switch between AI, which you see here, standard, ranked, arena, and brawl. Pretty simplistic, but I would have no doubt if someone didn't know that that feature existed. Starting on the left, I think that's one of the cooler things where we have never been able to see our particular number of battles on a ship. We can't see all the ships, but we can at least see our top 5. And we can actually see our win rate with those particular ships. Now, I would personally really like to see a little more to that, where I could actually click down on the Yamato and I could go into my detailed stats on the Yamato, number of shells fired, because they track it all. Make no mistake, they track it all. Shells fired, shells hit, percentage of hit, you know, average range, just stuff like that. I think that'd be really neat to like take a deep dive. I highly doubt we'll ever see that, especially since I just had the idea. But nonetheless, that's a pretty cool thing. Killing the face cam here. Going to the middle, this is, I think it's kind of tied between my top 5 ships and this preferred ship type. I think this is really cool. It kind of shows where you lean in the game. You know, do you lean more towards destroyers and cruisers, or maybe cruisers and battleships, or just all to one thing? Because we have people that just only play one class. I enjoy that we can actually see the number of battles at the bottom per whatever ship type. And then I like that we can see that two-dimensional diagram that kind of shows where we lean in that representation. I think that's really neat. And obviously, if you know me, I lean to battleships. Removing the face cam again, the right side, we just got some really pretty average stats. Win rate, battle count, average XP, average damage, kill-death ratio, which really kill-death doesn't really matter quite as much in this game. Although I do think it is kind of a little bit important. You know, at least you're going out there and it's like you're killing, for me it's 2.96, so at least every battle I'm going out there and I'm gonna probably kill 2 people to my life, right? Which I think that's pretty interesting. But the one thing I want to really talk about here is the average XP. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, my average XP went down. It's now at 1736. It was 2550. And then Monday happened and they screwed something up. Not true. So what happened was that your average XP was based on your average XP at the end of every battle. Now, when you win a game, you get a 50% plus bonus added on to your end game XP. Your average XP was calculated using that 50% bonus. So being that I have a 72% win rate, I've almost won 3/4 of my 16,200 battles. That's a lot when I think about it that way. But now the new average XP does not calculate that 50% win rate bonus into your average XP number. Something to think about. Now we can take this one step farther. By hitting right on the D-pad, we can pull up this page. Now, I think this is a really cool page as well because it really highlights where you like to play. So for me, it's obviously tier 7 because we had 7s out for so long. 8s never came along, plus there's not that much great stuff in 8. It's still relatively low populated. That doesn't surprise me that 8's not on there at all. So definitely 7 is king, and then halfway down the line for me is legendary, and then tier 6, which actually does surprise me quite a bit. I would have assumed it would have been something like tier 5 or something like that, not tier 6, because I don't play tier 6. I've honestly kind of hated tier 6 for like over 2+ years. I really don't like tier 6 at all. Just below that, we got our nations. Obviously, America, #1.
I'm gonna come.
What do you want me to say? I'm iced in right now and I'm wearing a fishing shirt. Come get some. Now, the rest of this page is pretty darn self-explanatory. I'm assuming you guys can read, so I'm not going to go through the rest of all this. If you're curious, I told you how to get there. The next thing that's changed a ton is the medals page, and personally, I think this is 15 times better than what they had before, because I'd end up finding myself scrolling all the way down to go find something simple like unsinkable. Pretty simple change, but I think it's a nice UI change that they finally brought into the game, so I do like it. The next thing that's changed is the patches. I mean, I think this is also a pretty good change. Personally, I think this is something that was probably long overdue. This probably should have been pushed in a little bit earlier, but at least now it's here, and it's pretty self-explanatory too. It's just, you know, right and left on the stick. Which I'm going to go ahead and clear all these because I've had this. It's literally said new on my patches for like 2 years, and I'm just over it. Why does it still say new? Okay, I see it. I see them. I've validated their existence. I have to scroll over them? That cannot be a real thing. Okay, that could be tweaked. But there you have it. That's the stat page worked through. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in there, but I do say over and over, I think we should have had this. This game's going on 4 years old, guys. No training rooms. We just got detailed stats. It took like 3 years to get the armor viewer in there. 2.5 years, you know. Wargaming needs to probably stop spending so much of their time looking and trying to make money by making new ships and like focus on the actual hardware and the UI of the game. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that's played it since it came out. With all that being said, I'm out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace!